Welcome to Ringer Tailgate. We're live. It's Saturday, and we are having a great time. Upsets alerts across the board right now. Texas Tech is on watch. Virginia is on watch. Wazoo up 7-0 in that game, and we're coming to you live right after Georgia Ole Miss just wrapped. And let's say what's up to the guys. First and foremost, let's say what's up to Van Lathan. Van, how you doing on this Saturday? Are you crashing out right now? Oh, wow. He's crashed out.
Let me tell you guys something real quick. All right. I'm from Louisiana.
He's psych gag comedian Van Lathan.
I'm from Louisiana, right? And let me tell you what happens. When there are no more solutions, no more explanations to things that are going on, we turn to the spiritual. We turn to root work, hoodoo and voodoo. And that's what I'm doing today. Root work, hoodoo and voodoo to get Brian Kelly out of my town. I want him gone. I want him gone.
A lot happening there. Van Lathan, you look great. I appreciate the effort here. He
looks
lighting
great.
sage right now.
He looks great.
He looks great. Yeah, you look like the JMU linebacker who's doing all the face paint right now. Shout out to that guy. I don't know if you guys have seen that as well, but Joel Anderson also in the place to be. Joel, how you doing, man?
I'm doing better than Van. I know that much. We beat Baylor today.
Who's the we?
Can I not? I feel like
we?
if you have ever shed blood have you ever shed blood for LSU?
I've shed blood on LSU's campus. Here's the deal.
But you didn't shed blood for LSU though.
That counts for LSU. I give you credit as a player, but let me tell you something. Joel, I knew you was gonna come in here real spicy today because this is your thing. This is what you want to be known as. I'm known as Ashamalaka, Sanakalaka,
Hey man, don't.
That's what I'm doing. I call my mom. My mom is a licensed hoodoo practitioner. I call my mom and I ask my mom, what do we have to do? She says, you got to exercise that spirit. I'm exercising the spirit of Brian Kelly right now. I'm doing this the whole show. Joel, I knew you was going to come in with the hatred. I just want to let you know, where I'm from, we don't really take disrespect from non-national champions. You know what I'm saying?
So
what about national championship appearances?
National champions.
TCU got to get their weight up, not their hate up. Okay? So I'm starting off on TCU Dome today. Pause.
I mean,
because the reality is that
because you can't beat Vanderbilt. You're right.
That's right.
Taking
You're
it
right.
Out.
You're right.
You got bullied.
Right.
You got bullied by the nerds of the league. And now you feel like you're right. I'm gonna go to the league. Okay. That's
what
fine.
do you expect me to do, Joel? A no-star white boy ran past $5 million athletes. What do you expect me to do, Joel? What do you expect me to do? We can't do anything else. We've done everything that we can do. The defense was bad. We went out and we got a high-priced defensive coordinator. The defense was bad. We went out and spent millions and millions of dollars on it. Millions of dollars on guys at receiver. Still can't throw the ball with any type of fierceness. Still can't run it when we need to. Still can't stop the running quarterback. It's the same stuff. The only thing left now is the spirits.
Let's go to the spiritual world. Let's start here with our first fact of the day.
Are you really Creole? Are you? Because I don't even be fucking with them. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
My mother for real. I'll get on the phone. My mother is a licensed hoodoo practitioner.
Don't play
before
Joe,
Tate
she's
gets
licensed.
into the show.
I don't know if I play with that.
Before Tate gets into the show, my mom and my dad got into an argument one time. Rest in peace, Dad. My mom and my dad got into an argument one time. And my dad was leaving the house. And when he's leaving the house, I heard this crunching sound. And it was a bunch of eggshells that mom had put on the ground for him to walk on before he left the house. And my dad freaked out. He was like, hey, your mama is a hoodooer. Your mama is a hoodooer. There's some hoodoo women. And he was upset. He was scared. He had to apologize. So I called her and she told me to sage my LSU hoodie, to sage my LSU pillow, and to get in. She said, put a face on. Let the energy know that you're here. So put a face on. So that's what I did.
Okay.
And it's the perfect time for that Halloween. I feel like you can conjure probably. This is the best time to be conjuring. So I think you're in the right spirit there, Van. So shout out to you.
Yes, you encourage.
Hold on. Once again, You making a costume out of my culture?
No, I'm saying you're conjuring.
You're talking about Halloween, Tate. Not you, Tate.
Not Halloween.
Like,
I'm just
not
saying
you,
it's the
bro.
time.
You one of my last ones, and you know what I'm talking about. Let's just get to the games, man, because I can't believe LSU is officially in hell, and I'm going to do everything I can do. I'm not like Joel. I didn't suit up for the Tigers, but I can do this to help LSU get over what we're going through.
Yeah, let's start here. First fact, there are two power conference teams that have not scored 25 points or more against FBS opponents. North Carolina, self-explanatory. We know where they are right now. But LSU is one of those teams as well. Today they scored 24 points against Vanderbilt. Obviously, first time Vanderbilt has beaten LSU since 1990. So that leads us right into our one big reaction. And Van, I'll turn it back over to you because you are truly trying to exercise the demons right now of the Tigers.
Yeah, so this is what I'll say. You compare us to North Carolina, and that's cool. But the reality is our coach ain't hitting nothing bad. So that's it. So
wow.
Like it's not, first of all,
he has a wife, doesn't he?
But this is what I mean, though. His wife is lovely.
He's got a family.
Sure. Okay. His wife is lovely, I'm sure. This is not a shot at the family. I don't do that type of stuff, okay? What I'm saying is the solace, if you are from North Carolina, let me fix my shot. If you are from North Carolina, the solace is that your coach, at least your coach got a baddie. At least he got something going on. What we got.
Yeah,
for real, right now, all jokes aside, like LSU went out there and got out executed, got out physical, got out competed, out everything by Vanderbilt. That's hell. I don't care how many goddamn losses. I don't care if it's the second loss, if it's the ninth loss, whatever it is, that's hell. We laughed at Bama last year when they lost to Bama, when they lost to Vanderbilt, and that karma just came back and hit us right in the face, which is why my eyes is bleeding. It's hell. I put my mask on, I put my spirituality on, I sage everything, and I ask for the spirits for some help because we goddamn definitely not going to get no help from anybody that's running LSU football right now. They don't know what the hell they doing.
Wow. Is it more damning, Van, that they didn't rush the field? Like they beat LSU, a top 10 team, first time since 1990, like I said, and they don't even rush the field.
Can for everybody that's saying that to
they
me,
didn't even think y'all were worth it. Damn.
Joe, what's gonna happen in this podcast, bro?
I'm sorry, man. My bad. I was just thinking about it. It was crazy, dog.
What's going to happen in this podcast, bro?
I'm
like, first of all, everybody that's saying that to me, I just want to let y'all know. Stop making this shit worse. So no, they didn't rush the field. You know why they didn't rush the field? Because they knew they were going to win. Why would you rush the field? If right now I went out there and put Dorsey High, McKinley, Central, whoever you want. If I went right now and put Liberty High School, Liberty Magnet School on Lee Drive in Baton Rouge, if I put them if LSU beat them, do you think that there would be a field rushing? No, because you expect to win. They knew they were going to win. The whole game day cast in the morning, V. The whole thing. They knew they were going to win. They went out there and they won. And Diego Pavia, he thanked God. He said God humbled him against Bama. And then God blessed him against us. He put God against us, which is why I had to go to the spirits.
I was going to say, man, you got his God versus your spirits, man. Wow.
It's all the same thing. It comes from the same source. This is African spiritualism. Don't let white supremacy fool you away from what your people do, Joel.
Okay, man. Look,
don't let white Joel. Don't let white supremacy fool you from what your people do.
You're the one playing hoodoo right now. That's not me.
I'm not playing. This is my Joel. This is my culture.
Joel, he's not playing.
This is what I am. How do you think
are you Creole? Are you Creole?
How do you think I got here? One day I was listening to the Bill Simmons podcast, and I tell my mom, I said, energy, root work. That's where I wanted to be. The next thing you know, Kanye, I'm on that bitch. Shout out to mom. She looking out. And that's why LSU is going to get a new coach because we putting it into the spirits.
Okay.
Joe, I want to get your reaction to LSU in this game. Obviously, I mean, they made it close, the 2-point conversion. We get it down 24-21. Then Diego Pavia comes back down the field. Really, that 4th and 1 play where he does the spin cycle and finds a guy, gets the first down. That felt like the quote-unquote Heisman play, right, for Pavia in this game. But from your vantage point, what did you see from Vanderbilt? And, did you feel like LSU was that far away? Because Brian Kelly says they weren't that far away. It was just the details, right? It was just
I do think that the indictment is that there's not that much distance between LSU and Vanderbilt in terms of their roster. Right, like that is the indictment. That for what Vanderbilt and what Clark Lee is able to get out of his roster compared to what Brian Kelly is allegedly supposed to have on his roster. That is a huge indictment. And I think the thing is it's one thing for Vanderbilt to kind of sneak up and beat you, right? And you not to take that game seriously or whatever, or a true upset like Vanderbilt in the year 2017 or something like that, right? But you went into their home, you knew that they were waiting on you. They are a ranked team, and they didn't bully them, but
no, they did.
Yeah, I mean they looked like it's physically imposing and is physically capable of going toe to toe with LSU is anybody else in the SEC. And if I was Van or some other unfortunate LSU fan today, that would be the thing. I'm not saying that I would want to fire Brian Kelly, because I think that Brian Kelly is a good coach, and that's something else that me and Van disagree on. But it would concern me.
You know what?
It would
Joe,
concern.
why don't you fucking jam it? You know what I mean? Like it's like, Joe, why don't you take it, turn it sideways, and just fucking jam it? I don't want to hear that from you right now. Listen, right? Joe, you're fucking with me again. You're doing it again. Let me tell you 3 things right now. Let's talk about the actual football. And like everyone right now, try to ignore the fact that I've painted my face for this podcast, okay? And let's talk about the actual football. Number 1, every point you made was salient. That's true. But consider these points. Okay, one team has a bloated, overinvested roster with some of the best talent ever.
22 million
about ever in the transfer portal. And I'm not blaming these kids. What I'm saying right now is there's a lot of talent on this field, and it's everywhere. It's Bauer Sharp at tight end. It's Barry and Brown at receiver. It's everywhere that you can name. It's Jack Pyburn. It's everybody that we've brought in, right? You have guys. Now, I'll say LSU does have some injuries. Whit Weeks did not play in this game. We've had some injuries throughout the year. So this is not the version of the LSU defense that played Clemson. However, I'll say this. There is a talent maximization and capitalization issue at LSU right now. And there is one glaring unit that every single game, no matter what's going on, is reflective of that. And that's the offensive line. I watch college football all week long, and I see offensive lines that, number 1, are physically more imposing than LSU's offensive line, but also better coached, meaning they're passing things off better. They're communicating better. The penalties that they're getting aren't as timely and aren't as crippling as some of the penalties that we see in our offensive line. America saw right now a D tackle or an end from Vanderbilt dominate DJ Chester.
Knocked his ass over, man.
Yeah,
push
threw him back.
DJ Chester
Damn.
like right into, you know what? Where the goddamn Sage at? This for DJ Chester. How is that happening in a Vandy LSU game? And that tells you right now what is true about LSU football under Brian Kelly. It is C+. It is always going to be C+. We have enough tape, enough time, enough players, enough film to see that this is a C+ program as long as Brian Kelly is in control of it. And if you want a chance to win big or even compete in the way that the LSU fan base is used to, you have to do something new. And that's just what it is.
Wow, man. I guess the thing is, you know what it is? You know what Brian Kelly is for me? He's the Arch Manning of coaching. Like, I just refuse to accept. I don't know how many more times Brian Kelly's going to have to lose an upset Van. And I'll be like, yeah. And I'll just be, okay, so maybe today is the day that I need to sit with it and be like, you know what, man? Brian Kelly might just be a good coach at LSU, right?
It's funny.
The guy that I thought had done a really good job and wasn't appreciated at Notre Dame, at LSU had this coup. They got Brian Kelly. All Brian Kelly needed was LSU talent, and as it turned out, he had LSU talent and got beat with Vandy talent.
Guys,
which is a talent in and of itself.
Brian Kelly beat LSU when he was at Notre Dame. He beat us. 2018 Citrus Bowl or whatever it was. Yeah. We lost to him, okay? Mm-hmm. Anybody that thought that that Brian Kelly was going to come to LSU and win big, I see why you thought it. Brian Kelly, if it was one thing he could do, was over the course of his entire Notre Dame tenure is deal with offensive lines and have dominating offensive lines that can move the line of scrimmage, protect the quarterback, and run the football. He comes down to LSU, and he's not doing any of that. The team is soft. They don't play with any passion, any fire. I would kill to have Les Miles back right now.
Wow.
Kill to have Les Miles back.
You can't let Les Miles back on a college campus right now. Just for the record, we can Google. But look, okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I remember the good times.
Van.
What?
What? Okay.
What? So what is it, Joel?
So who do you think is going to be better though? Who do you think? Like, so now you go
$52 million buyout.
Yeah,
hey, bro, Joe, I want to let you know something.
Joe,
I'm a gun owner.
Pennsylvania.
Stop fucking with me. Like, who's going to be better? Stop. I don't, bruh. Who's going to be? You know what? These are questions that are being asked from hell, not from hell. These are questions that you ask. You know how you ever visited somebody in prison? Joel, I know you have. Tate, I know you haven't. You ever you ever visit somebody in prison? You visit someone in prison, and when you go there, right? You don't think about tomorrow. You don't think about how is Uncle David doing tomorrow. You think about writing. You make sure your uncle that you visit in prison has a good Thursday. Because you got to take care of the things that are in front of you. The first problem for LSU football is that we cannot compete at an elite level right now. That's the first problem. If there is a chance to compete at an elite level in the future, then go out there and find it. That's your job as an AD, as an administration, as a booster culture. But right now, we know that there's a problem. So the first thing to do is solve the problem that's in front of you, change the whole thing. $52 million. Todd Graves got that in chicken finger money. Pay the money. Pay the money, Todd. They're opening up a Cane's on Sunset. All right. I went to the first Cane's ever. $52 million, that's nothing for Todd, man. Chicken fingers, bro. Pay the money.
That franchise money.
The funniest thing, I have an idea for a podcast. Nobody's going to buy it because nobody's doing narrative podcasts anymore. I want to do a whole series on that LSU Clemson game and everything everybody said about both of those teams after that game. Like, man, LSU looked like one of the best teams in the country. That's a quality win. They went over to Clemson, and Clemson was supposed to be a national champion. And now it's just like everybody's all mad. You know, it's like, man, Clemson's terrible. Dabo is letting himself down. Van had to paint his face and pretend to be in the hoodoo culture. Today, he
said pretend.
You know, let me tell you something right now. Hold on, I'm gonna call my mom in a second because Joel once again is. I
would love to talk to your mom.
Two things, Joel.
Did you tell her?
Yeah,
what
you're
you
right.
said when you came on?
You know what? You actually, this is the first time you've been right on the podcast. You're right about one thing.
No,
first time you've been right on this podcast. You're right.
Too.
Nobody's gonna buy that podcast idea. That's for sure. you're right about that. No one's gonna buy.
Well, it's not a series. It's a one.
No one's gonna buy the podcast about the LSU Clemson game from 2025. That's not going on Netflix. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. No one's gonna buy that one. Number one. That's the number two. Why are you doing this? Like,
it's just funny.
I know it's funny, and I didn't paint my face.
It was really obvious. So why did I say that?
Or a gimmick. I painted my face because I don't know what else to do. And this is my culture, and this is how we fix things. Not Louisiana culture. This is my family's culture. And any further jabs at that, I will take as you talking about my mama.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't want to
personal. I would now.
Family business.
I can't.
Family business. That's all I have to say about LSU. I'll tell you this.
The line.
I'll tell you this. This crash out that you guys are seeing, is real. And I want to let you guys know that, like, and this is so stupid, and it is stupid, but in a real way,
really hurts.
This ruins my weekend.
Yeah.
Like, this ruins the weekend.
Man.
It doesn't ruin the weekend necessarily that they lost. It ruins the weekend that things are in such disarray because we were told that there was a solution and that solution was worth $100 million. Guys, we're not a rich state. We're not a rich state. As a matter of fact, we're one of the poorest states. Yeah. We're one of the states that's most resource stressed, that where things are most dire, where people have the least amount of stuff. We're one of those states.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, look up the numbers. That's us. But you know what fills us up and makes us feel rich? What makes us feel rich is how our team performs on Saturday. Because if we broke with actual money, we're rich in football talent. And we like showing that to the nation. Look how awesome Louisiana is. Look how we can perform against all kinds of other places. Look at what our boys can do. We love that. And this just makes us feel poor again. It makes us feel culturally poor. It makes us feel spiritually poor. It makes us feel competitively poor. And I don't like that.
Yeah. That's sad, man. I'm sorry, bro.
Me too. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man, y'all some hell of some football company, bro. I mean, North Carolina and LSU.
I gave that whole impassioned
not scoring
speech,
no points.
And nobody even cared. Y'all not true friends.
No, I care.
Yeah, I care.
You know what?
Fills the cup. Football
Tate,
fills the cup.
I'm telling you, you know what I'm going to do for you, Tate? I got something for your ass, Tate. We're going to hang glide next week. Since you want to play, I'm taking you. We're going to hang glide next week.
Oh, man.
Hey, I told you. I already felt that pain. You know what I mean? I can't do it again.
Kind of core
I'm going to pass out up there. I'm a legit crash out. Joel, do you have a sincere apology here to LSU fans? I mean,
of course not. Of course not. No, I'm not apologizing to them, man. They fine. Well, TCU need to get their weight up, you know. So I mean, why would I care about LSU fans and their feelings right now? But you know, we haven't talked about Diego Pavia.
Yeah, that's a reaction right there, Diego Pavia.
That's my reaction. So my reaction is Diego Pavia is the Bill Snyder of college football players. Like, he's one of the greatest winners in the history of college football. Now, first, the dude had no offers coming out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, right? I mean, just think about how far in football you have to come that, like, even in-state New Mexico State were like, we'll pass. Mm-hmm. He had to go to junior college, win a championship there. He went to New Mexico State, which was so bad, they wrote a story about how bad it was in 1992. Like, New Mexico State has only been bad. By the end of his first season, he beat Liberty, and it was their first, and led them to their first bowl win in 62 years. The next year, he led them to 10 wins. They had never even won more than 8 games in the season in like 62 years, okay? And including a 21-point win over Auburn. He led New Mexico State to the conference championship game in 2 of their only 3 bowl games in the last 65 years, okay? Now he goes to Vandy. He beats #1 Alabama in his first year. This year he beats LSU, a top 5 team. I mean, he's not doing this at Florida. He's not doing this at Ole Miss. He's not doing this at Texas A&M. He is literally taking some of the hardest programs to win at in FBS. Like, Vandy is supposed to be the worst program in SEC. New Mexico State is really a program that they probably should be FCS, right? And he did shit there that nobody had ever done in the history of that program before. And so I'm just like, while I feel sorry for LSU, I'm marveling at how great Diego Pavia has been. Like, you know what I mean? And we're not talking about, this isn't Dante Culpepper. He's not going to go to that dude. He's going to go pro in something other than sports. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, he's just
the classic,
yeah. Like, he's not going to play in the NFL, but yet and still, he is at the center of some of the most improbable victories and improbable resurrections in college football history. And man, you know what? Man, show your mom however much they want, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to know more about Diego Pavia. He needs to go to New York City. You know, like he
hit the Heisman post today.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, go to the Heisman.
Great.
Yeah, it's great.
Man, I mean, would you rather have Van? Would you rather have Diego Pavia or Garrett Nussmeier as your quarterback?
Fuck Diego Pavia. It's a great story. Okay, and by the way, it's always a great story until it happens to you.
Wow.
I'll have to tell you this. I think that what Diego Pavia has done is nothing short of amazing. It's amazing for all kinds of reasons. Number one, if I'm being serious, that is what you want at quarterback. What you want at quarterback is a personality and a belief that can make its way through the entire team to where the team takes on the confidence and the play style of their leader. If you have a guy like that who can go out and then back it up, that is what you want. You want an inspiring leader who can also get it done. And something else, man. People talk about Diego Pavia in terms of, uh, how they've won and how they've competed. But if you watch this game from snap to whistle, play to play, then what you saw was someone who understood on an encyclopedic level what the defense was doing. He understood that LSU, for some reason, had really poor rush lane integrity, right? They were acting like they were playing against one of the least mobile quarterbacks in college football when they were really playing against one of the most mobile quarterbacks in college football. And when I say most mobile, I don't just mean most mobile from the standpoint of this guy's going to run a 4-2, catch the edge on your end and run right by him. I'm talking about a decisive, cerebral, and deliberate runner who takes advantages of the mismatches that he sees from the defense. And he did it time after time after time. Every time they needed him, he came up with the play to show that Vanderbilt has guys that are actual difference makers on their football team right now, and LSU doesn't.
The 21-yard rush for the touchdown to win the game, essentially, right? I mean, it was even more damning to me that LSU decided to kick and punt the ball back to him, right? With how he had been playing that entire game. It's like, we're going to trust our defense, even though we have 2 timeouts, a 2-minute warning. Why would you give him the opportunity there to get the ball back? Was fascinating to me. Yes, I know it's 4th and 8. Yes, I know I was leading that game, but I felt like he took that as a sign of disrespect. He's a guy that wore a Pooh Shiesty mask to the game. He had an expectation to win, right? I mean, the confidence of Diego Pavia is at an all-time high.
He's got real swag. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people try to affect it or whatever, but it's like you can tell that it's actually authentic with him. He believes his own hype. He believes his own shit, man. And I have to respect
Tebow
it.
and Johnny Manziel as one. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, but the like Manziel combination thing, Manziel, his mentor. You could tell it's an authentic belief. And I mean, how could you not think that you were special? I didn't have any offers coming out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. This Saturday, I beat LSU. What an incredible story, man.
And Clark Lee also deserves some credit as well.
Clark Lee about to get some people fired. Probably Brian Kelly.
Also a Brian Kelly disciple, right? I mean, he's a guy that learned under Brian Kelly. He just outclassed him today.
Clark Lee was fantastic. The whole team was fantastic. I'm really hoping we can move on to some other games now because I got a lot of work to do energetically. But what I will say is this, something else, about Johnny Manziel. We used to beat Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel never had real success against LSU. So there was always something that we could take away from the Johnny Manziel era where he terrorized the rest of the SEC, won a Heisman Trophy, then had another great season, is that he didn't have those types of games against LSU. And that's another reason why this one hurts, because he was the puppeteer for Diego Pavia to go out there and get his get back against LSU. They didn't storm the field. Brian Kelly gets into the press conference. This is another reason why what Joel said drove me up a wall, because at least you would want answers from the head coach as to why that just happened. Why the smart kids just dominated the strong kids. Okay. Why did that happen? Not to say our guys aren't smart. I'm sure all of those brothers are smart. All of those white boys are smart. Whatever nationality. I'm woke. I don't want anybody.
Everybody's smart.
Okay. Everybody's smart.
Yeah, everybody's
woke as fuck. All right. Whatever. Everyone's smart. But that happens. And what does Coach Kelly say? Well, we didn't execute the details.
Didn't execute the game plan. Yeah, right.
No shit. He essentially said in the press conference, we had the right plan. The players didn't do it. What do you want? Like, what do you want from me, Joe? Like, Joe, what do you want? He says, I put them in the right position.
He smirked as he said it, Van. It was sick.
Joe, what do you want from me? Fire. Earlier in the season, he told us that we were spoiled. You're goddamn right we're spoiled. 3 national championships, 6 SEC championships, 2 Heisman Trophy winners, played for another national championship, all since the year 2000. You're goddamn right we're spoiled, and we want to keep being spoiled. And you know who's not going to spoil us? You. You're a bad dad. You're a bad dad, Brian Kelly. You don't spoil. You don't spoil. You take you're bad. What is Joe calls everyone daddy. That's Joel Steen.
Nah,
He called Ty Simpson Ty Big Daddy Simpson.
Once again,
You're no daddy, Brian Kelly. You're no daddy.
No.
You're no
You're a
daddy
baby.
at all.
You're
I don't
a
call
baby.
everybody daddy though. I don't call everybody.
You call a lot of people daddy.
I'll call
You
a lot of
asked me
people-
in the thing. Hold on for a second. Let's go back to the text. Let's go back to the text.
I'm doing your thing.
Hold on for a
I was
second.
doing
Wait
your
a
bit.
second.
I didn't know that you had
Wait a
moved on
second.
to.
Wait a
I didn't know that
second.
you had moved on to props.
He's
Let's go back
foisted
to
the
the
bit on
text
the Joel, which
messages,
is
Joe.
great.
on the costume.
I'm looking at it right now, Joe, because you act like you don't do it. Joe, you asked me right here. You asked me, is Xavier Thomas a daddy? You asked me.
Great
I'll put it
touchdown
in
run
the
by
chat.
Xavier.
Is he
Did you
daddy?
say that? Did you ask me that question? Yes or no? Did you ask me if Xavier Thomas was a daddy? You asked me.
Answer first if he's a daddy.
See, you asked me if he's a daddy. No, there are no daddies. We have no daddies. We are the orphans.
Man, that's too bad. You know, it's kind of funny. Okay, just real quick before you move on. A little perspective. Y'all didn't have weeks today.
We did not. They're not the only player we didn't have.
Right.
There are other guys that we have.
Yeah.
The other
other
week's
guys
brother
we
had a
have-
good game. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, we didn't have weeks. Great. Y'all, do you understand what the deal is? Do you understand that, like, we should be able to be down a couple of players? And look, you can tell on that breakaway run that Caden Durham was not healthy. You could tell. The kid's got 10-3 speed. He's had a nagging injury the entire year, a couple of different nagging injuries. You could tell he didn't house that. But the fact that he did not house it, I knew we weren't going to score a touchdown because Joe Sloan and the offensive play calling inside of the 20, particularly inside of the 10, has been so bad all year. It's been so bad for a while. And there's nothing really that we can do about it. We just kind of got to wait. But the point is, in past years, being down a couple of guys, you would rest those guys against Vandy.
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore. I get it. They got a good thing going over there at Vandy. I understand it. I totally get it. But the reality is, it's not about them being Vandy as much as it is about us being LSU. And right now, we're not LSU. We're not.
What's the next segment on Locked On Tigers? Go.
I like Locked On Tigers.
Shout out to TigersComics.com. Yeah, right. They're
Yeah.
covering it, hard and heavy. And if you go to the comments, Brian Kelly's getting absolutely roasted. So, Van, you're not alone. There's an army. You lost the logo, by the way. The logo is gone.
Damn.
Another loss.
we need the
Another
logo.
L. Another L, man. That's whack. Hey, man, people are in the comments. They're saying, is Diego Pavia a Heisman contender? 70% say yes. All
He's
right.
in the
He would have to
conversation.
be.
Yeah, right.
He would have to be in the
We
conversation.
don't really have anyone that is elevated at this point to be the Heisman. So Diego Pavia is definitely putting his name in the pot. And honestly, the 2 red zone turnovers he had against Alabama, I mean, if the things play out differently there, who knows? I mean, he would be the runaway favorite at this point. The other big game I want to talk about, Georgia Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin versus Kirby Smart. We had Miss Terry, Saban's wife, come on Game Day today talking about how Nick Saban would not be coming back to college football because the babies she did not call them daddies. She called them babies. Need the opportunity at a place like Penn State. Talking about Kirby and Lane. Lane, obviously had a lot of fun going into this game. Did some hot yoga this morning.
That's right.
A lot of conversations about these two coaches going into this game. Lane Kiffin's offense looks incredible early. The communication is great. They score on their first 5 drives. And then all of a sudden, Georgia does what they do best, which is get down and claw their way back into a game. A huge 4th and 1 conversion they got late to go down and score a touchdown to get the lead back in this one. And Georgia survives. How much are we buying into the fact that Georgia can just figure out how to win these games, even though they don't look like the best team throughout the game? They just continue to find a way. And obviously a very different Georgia team, not the defense we've seen in the past. Van, did you watch this game? Did you have any thoughts on the Dogs?
I did watch it. Okay, a couple of things. Number one, so interesting to see Georgia just be in a situation where teams walk the ball up and down the field. Ole Miss did what they wanted to do on offense. It reminded me sort of the Ole Miss LSU game from a couple of years ago with Jaden Daniels. It was a really, really high scoring game, and LSU ended up losing by 1 possession, where you thought that the team that people expected to win had put enough distance between you know what happened before that game? We did a live show in Oxford. Anyway,
well, say more. I mean, do you wish?
No.
I mean, what did you bring it up?
No,
go ahead.
No,
come on.
Just talk
what
about
happened?
the old times.
Do it.
But look, it
good times, good crew.
Yeah, happens.
Was about white women
or
something?
And in see, no,
was it?
Now, in this game today, you just kept thinking that this was going to be the game that Ole Miss was going to officially announce that they were here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I mean here, I mean the class of the conference. Being LSU doesn't make you the class of the conference anymore. We've talked about it. It's just true. Even through reputation, beating Georgia is still important. Mm-hmm. Alabama did it. Alabama does it pretty regularly. That is what it is, even when Georgia was the dominant force in college football that they were going back a couple of years. Reputationally, I really feel like this is a game that Ole Miss needed. This was a game that they needed. Eventually, they're going to have to announce that they're an actual national championship player, that they are a team that can actually go out and get it done. And you need some of these pelts on the wall if you're going to do it. Georgia, defensively, the fact that their culture is still strong enough that they can overcome what is a glaring problem that they have, which is the defense, and win these games. That says a lot about who they are. It's not the same Georgia of old, but they're still better than Ole Miss.
Man, it's just funny because Ole Miss did beat LSU. That again, once the point of time. Yeah, I just said it's just kind of like we thought Ole Miss was good.
Hey, Kalika, go in my safe and get me and get you know what I'm saying? Get the fucking go in my safe and get the get my joint. I know because that's the only thing you're gonna learn. That's the only way you're gonna learn. Only way
we got good on Joe Texas too.
It's right by the bed. Go in the safe and get my joint. Joe keep fucking around.
Speaking of,
I'm gonna be in LA this week. I do need to be careful.
That is true. Joel's coming out. We're gonna be in person.
Yeah,
check yourself. Speaking of Gunnar Stockton, we have to point this out: 26 of 31, 289, 4 touchdowns passing, also 10 for 59 and a touchdown rushing. An incredible offensive performance for Gunnar Stockton, and this is coming on the heels of his predecessor, Carson Beck, throwing 4 picks for Miami on Friday night. So for Georgia fans, this was a sight for sore eyes to see Gunnar Stockton kind of get unleashed in this game. And he was a superstar. Chambliss was incredible early. Obviously, like all those drives I mentioned before, all those scoring drives. But Gunnar Stockton really held it down late in this game.
Yeah, no, he really did. He looks good, solid. I mean, it's not like Ole Miss has a dominant defense. This isn't the same defense that had all that portal talent, when they had stocked up for a national title run. It's not the same defense, right? But it says something that he was able to. I mean, it's hard to go 26 of 31 against any, modestly decent defense. And he did that and added the running element. The thing I was thinking about Georgia is that it is just kind of weird to me. They're gritty. They're gritty. They're a real tough, team. But they're just not dominant anymore. You're watching to Van's point about people walking the ball down the field walking down the field on them. It's just like they didn't used to give up 35 points in 3 quarters. And I was thinking so I looked this up. So the year that they won the national championship in 2021, the season high they gave up was 41 to Alabama in the SEC championship game. That's Bryce Young. That was a high. They did that to a Heisman Trophy winner. In the rematch, they held them to 18. That was their second highest point total for the season, man. The next year, they gave up 41 to Ohio State. That's C.J. Stroud, Emeka Egbuka, Marvin Harrison III. I mean, that'll happen. But other than that, the second high that year was 30. And before that, it was like 27. And before, so like they've been, it's just weird to see people be able to move the ball on them. And I don't think they're so good. I don't think Gunnar Stockton has so much moxie. I don't think Nate Frazier is such a great running back that if they find themselves in games like this over and over again, that they're going to consistently win. Like sometimes you don't get those bounces. Sometimes the team, Trinidad missed deep. He missed deep on, late in the fourth quarter on somebody going up the seam. If he hits that, the game may be very different. I'm just saying, like, they did win, but I just don't think you can count on that forever. Like, they're just not the same overwhelming talent anymore. And I don't think that they've got so much moxie that they can just get away with it over and over again. I mean, they're a very good team, not trying to diminish it or anything like that, but it's just a win, right?
Right.
And so we'll see.
But what I'm saying is, to your point, I think that's a great point. But we saw them run out of magic against Alabama, right? We saw at times, that game get really tight, and Alabama, who has risen like Lazarus to become a team that now you once again expect to go out on the field and win in the ways that you did of times of old, right? We saw Georgia come up a couple plays short against them. So we know that it can and will happen. It just didn't happen against two teams that are seeking to dethrone Georgia in their stake as being new SEC powers. We saw that happen against Tennessee, and we saw it happen against Ole Miss. And those are two teams that just for the culture, so much about this is culture. For the culture, for the belief system, you need to be able to say, we're now here and we will beat Georgia when we have Georgia on the ropes. You say that if you're Ole Miss, you say that if you're Tennessee. Now, does this mean that you want to say that, should I say? Does this mean that there's any daylight between these teams? Obviously, there's not. There's only a couple points of daylight between both teams. And when you look at the way the game was actually played, you saw Georgia off balance a lot by what Ole Miss was doing on offense and what Ole Miss was able to do. Man, Kiffin went deep in his bag on some of those. There was one where there was a direct snap to the running back. The running back then ran like a read option to the QB. QB takes it in. It's a lot of stuff that they had going on because they understood just for the future and the vitality of the program how important this game was. Ole Miss still in the driver's seat to make the playoff. I'm not saying that they won't, but I'm saying at some point, if Lane Kiffin is going to become the guy in Oxford that the people believe will go and win a national championship, he's going to have to win a couple of those games, and he hasn't yet.
Ole Miss, y'all need to be happy, man. Just be grateful that you're having this era of
Joe.
Football. What? Be grateful.
Hey, Joel, what kind of loser shit do you be on?
Oh,
that's not what we on, bro.
This ain't,
bro. That's not. They didn't hire Lane Kiffin. They didn't hire Lane Kiffin.
Who are the nerds for
them to go and like be okay to lose close to Georgia? They want to win the game. What did Herman would say?
But again, know where you
play
are
to win the game.
I'm trying to remember if the way Ralph Wiley put this. He said, at a certain age, too much ambition can be embarrassing. Like, it can be kind of humiliating. Look, bro, Ole Miss has not really contended, and I don't think they've won a conference championship since segregation, bro. Like, since the Jim Crow years. So that is who they are as a program. That's fine, and they're doing really good. These are the best years they've had.
Please get involved. I don't.
These
what
are the
is
best
Joe
years
saying?
they've ever
I'm just saying, if you told,
I don't even think they're saying that about Lane Kiffin because they know they've got a good thing with Lane Kiffin.
If you told Ole Miss they weren't going to punt until the fourth quarter and that Georgia would get 0 sacks in this game, Ole Miss would say, "We won the game." You know what I mean? Like, if you just gave them those two notes.
If I told you this as an Ole Miss fan at the beginning of the year, I'm like, I'm not going to tell you how it happens, but you're going to split LSU and Georgia. You think they'd have been happy with that if I told them that at the beginning of the season?
Be honest with you. It depends on which game was won. It depends on if you told them right now they were going to beat. Look,
they want to win on the road. They want to win on the
Magnolia Bowl is a farce. Okay, so
wow.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Okay, we sort of care, right? LSU has a bunch of sort of care rivalries, right? Really, our own rivalry is ourself. We sort of care about the Magnolia Bowl. We sort of care about
me versus me.
Right, it's me. We sort of care.
Man, you
about
said
Magnolia
for so long. I thought it was the Egg Bowl. I was like, man,
we
don't care about the Egg Bowl.
Like we sort of care. The Alabama thing was a real thing, but it was because of our relationship to Nick Saban and because Alabama was the measuring stick of the conference and particularly the West at that time, Auburn, whatever, all of that stuff. In this particular game, though, I have a different question. If you'd have asked them which game was more important for them to win, to solidify what they want to be, which is have a national reputation as a winning team, which game would they have wanted? And I think it would have been a Georgia game. I think it would have been a game against a team that's been a measuring stick in college football going back for a little while. And look, no college football fan base, particularly in the SEC, besides Vandy and maybe a couple of others, is rational about where the team is going to be, especially if they've put as much into the program as of recent as Ole Miss has. Ole Miss's collective has been out there. I think it's called the Grove Collection, has been out there working. They have been giving Lane Kiffin everything that he needs. Kiffin himself is a high dollar coach. They are not spending money like a program that doesn't expect to go and win and compete for national championships.
Unless they have dementia, they're dreaming, they're aspiring for a time that has never existed in their lifetime. So I'm just saying, and again, they should expect to be competitive and to win, but you're going to have to lose a couple games a year. Nobody thought Ole Miss was going to go undefeated this year, let alone at Georgia, right? So I just, they lost. They acquitted themselves very, very well. Trinidad Chambliss, again, he'd never played against that caliber athlete before. And he looked pretty.
And they made adjustments on the D line. We were talking about this. Like the pass rush was not getting to Chambliss, so they started dropping back and timing his passes. Yeah. He's about 5'11", 6 feet.
He looked like a D2 quarterback. It's a couple times.
Well, they started timing his passes and blocking. Yeah. I mean, the last play of the game, the 4th and 10. I mean, they timed that and swatted down, right? I mean, so it was great course correction in game. And it was beautiful to see like a defensive mastermind in Kirby Smart, an offensive mastermind, obviously with Lane Kiffin, go at it toe to toe, and Kirby Smart wins again.
Yeah, well, also, funny thing, I mean, Florida, man, what are y'all doing? Are y'all going to be able to fire Billy Napier off of a win now? It looks like they're about to beat Mississippi State. They're going crazy, and they're up by 2 with 21 seconds to go. Looks like they got the ball. So, I mean, they're going to fire Billy Napier.
The best coach on the hot seat we've ever seen, Billy Napier.
Yeah, I was like, them boys play hard for him, man. They really do.
It looks like SC has taken the lead against Notre Dame, 20 versus 13. Another pretty big game. There have been some other really important performances that have taken place this saying in Ohio State. Ohio State looks, after what happened, we haven't even talked about, there's been so much talk about LSU. No discussion about the debacle last night in South Florida. Tate, do you want to talk about that? You want to get into that a little bit? Maybe spread the misery around a little bit? Maybe jump out of the SEC? Yeah.
Let's start with the Hurricanes. I did want to ask that question. One big question here. Who is having a bigger crash out today, Van Lathan or Michael Irvin? Let's lob that up to the people. Let's see if we can get a response here. Van Lathan versus Michael Irvin. We love Michael Irvin. I'm sure he's upset right now. He's probably trying to figure out his ways to make Miami back. But Carson Beck was the real problem. He even throws his receiver under the bus after this game. When he throws his 4th pick, he said he ran the wrong route. They actually had a good play drawn up. But the Hurricanes, we mentioned this on the show on Wednesday. Friday night frights for the Hurricanes. They have been number 2. They have played an ACC opponent. They lost in 2016 to Pitt. 2017, they lose to Syracuse. They do it again in 2025. Right when you thought that Miami was back, they are not back anymore. Joe, I know you said this is your biggest thing. Let's start there with the U. What are your thoughts on what we saw on Friday?
Oh, well, I mean, for all the people that keep thinking that the U is back, Miami's back, man. They beat whoever, they beat South Florida. They beat Florida. They beat Notre Dame.
They beat Notre Dame. Yeah,
they beat Notre Dame. The U is back. The U is dead, and it's never coming back. Miami is a good football program, but the U, my brothers, that is over. And I mean, some of this is just based upon who Mario Cristobal is. By the way.
Oh yeah, there you go.
By the way, gentlemen, can I read you a post on Blue Sky real quick? A skeet, if you will.
No, a skeet, if you will. Us.
From my boy, you've been trying to skeet on us. That's your problem. You go around skeeting on people. Why don't you just try to love somebody and be positive?
You don't play give it to us. Okay, anyway, let me move on to Max from Spring from Texas. He says, Joel, I'm from Argentina, and he puts in parentheses, Spanish-speaking country. The way you pronounce Cristobal last name is perfect. Okay, so háblame bien. Do y'all know what that means? Háblame bien. Do you know what that means?
What is
Good
that?
Pronunciation.
Talk to me nice. Talk to me nice. I know what I'm talking about. I took Spanish. I took Spanish into college. I took Spanish every year of my life since I was in first grade. Okay.
What is going on?
So I know how to pronounce that
the
word.
greatest
Joe,
spin zone
Joe,
I've ever
can I ask you a
heard of.
question?
So,
can I ask you one
pick it up
question?
with
The
Max
space is
from
too safe
Argentina.
over there.
Can I ask you one question? Just one question. How does Mario Cristobal say his name?
I mean,
All
he
right,
may
bro.
he may
Respect
be
that man,
ignorant.
bro.
He may be
Respect,
ignorant. He may be ignorant of his roots.
respect that man, bro.
That
Respect
man may
that
be
man.
ignorant
Joel,
of
you're
his
saying
roots.
that he's been
Well, I
Americanized.
respect him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what
Americanized.
they did
That's
to
the
Muhammad
Americanized
Ali.
version. I'm telling you, the people from the motherland know how it's supposed to be said, but that's
All
fine.
right.
He can do whatever he wants. Anyway, moving on.
Jeremiah
it's
Love
just,
touchdown for Notre Dame, by the way. Shout out.
The score's tied up now after
Yep,
the extra
7-7.
point.
they just, I mean, Miami just does dumb things. Like as good as they look, that's why I never fully bought into that thing this year because I'm like, man, they always do something stupid. Or Mario Cristobal, I mean, he'll always lose a game like this. You know what I mean? Cristobal. My bad.
All you're doing is once again.
I can't help but laugh.
It's really
So we're
hard
trying to
for me
launch
as
a show,
somebody
right?
that is familiar with the language.
Bro, we're
I mean,
trying to launch a
And
show.
so I'm
saying
having
this.
to do this Americanized version of the name, and it's very difficult for me. So I'm sorry.
We're trying to launch. We're trying to
I like
launch
that
the show. I
Joe's
keep saying
bilingual.
this. We try to launch the show. Joe wants to talk about Maryland football and pronounce the coach's names is wrong. Let's get back into the game.
Well, I was just letting people know.
Two things about this game. I think for some reason we all felt like this was going to be a spooky game for Miami.
Yeah.
The Friday night thing for these ACC powers is terrifying. Whatever it is if it's because you're on a short week, is because your rhythm is off, or is it because they schedule a specific type of team on those Friday nights, which is a lively team that it's their fucking Super Bowl, be it Virginia, be it Louisville, who is a program on the rise. And so you're going to get a hell of a run there on a short week, almost in a look pass situation. Now, Miami should not be in any look pass situations because they've really conquered the toughest challenges on their schedule, right?
Yeah.
They've beaten Notre Dame. Florida State was seemingly a tough challenge. Seemingly, Miami the rest of their season was about handling business and getting to the playoff, peaking in the right way and avoiding major injury. They fucking fell apart last night.
Right. They can't afford to lose another game because I mean I don't think they play anybody ranked again the rest of the year.
Maybe Georgia Tech in the ACC championship game,
Yep.
but also Georgia Tech could be coming off a loss to Georgia. You know what I mean? So there's a world in which Georgia Tech could be going
10-2 Miami
losses
gets
back
in.
to back.
10-2 Miami gets in.
Last year didn't get in.
But 10-2 Miami gets in this year.
10-2 last year they didn't get in, and last year they had the number one.
They
pick
need
in the
Notre
draft.
Dame to keep it up too.
Right. If Notre Dame
to,
continues to play well with what Miami, I feel like this year, a 10-2 Miami would have to make the playoff.
Do you agree with Saban, Van? Saban said today on game day that he thought it was good that Miami lost. Now, I wouldn't go that far that it's good that they lost, but it was good to, I guess, get tested at that level and also show that, I had some people reach out to me that said, Carson Beck, they go out on Thursdays. So, college night is Thursday night. So, you know what I mean? That could be something to do with the Friday.
They say Cavalry's not keeping
frights.
them home, huh? Okay.
Yeah, so they got Stanford,
Okay.
SMU, Syracuse, NC State, Tech, and Pittsburgh coming up.
Sorry, man.
Not very much chances for window dressing
NC
there.
State. Watch out for NC State.
Well, don't you
State.
think? Don't you think though? Like for Carson Beck to go through that it just the thing that is really troubling about the 4 interceptions is that you could tell that like his confidence was slipping. As the game got deeper, I was never under the illusion that Carson Beck was going to lead them back to win that game. Like I just didn't. I didn't think he could do it. And I just wonder that you hope that's not the sort of thing that crops back up again. And it won't crop up against teams you're supposed to beat, like Stanford. Like it just won't. But when you're in a moment of crisis and they need him to make a play in a dirty pocket, every people are covered now. You're not playing against, whatever quality Louisville quality DBs, which is, not bad, but not, that's not going to be what Ohio State brings to you. Will he be able to do it? Will he have the confidence to do it? That was one of the things that would troubled him at Georgia. So I don't know, man.
Do you consider Notre Dame to be a team like that though? Because that game was highly competitive and he made some really big plays and some really big throws to beat Notre Dame in that game. Like, look, Carson Beck played awful last night. He played with a lack of competitive focus that if I were a Miami fan, I would be concerned about. Quarterbacks throw interceptions. Sometimes they make a bad read, they throw an interception. Sometimes they get over ambitious, they throw an interception. Some of the balls he threw that were picked off in that game, they weren't any of that. They were just throws where it didn't seem like there was any plan from the quarterback on them. And even if we take the last throw away, because that was a great play by the defender right there, he still was reckless with the ball in a way that suggested to me that he didn't really respect the fact that Louisville was an actual threat to win that football game.
And they're in field goal range. Like, worst case scenario, you're going to overtime.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You
could blame the play call on that. Yeah.
Yeah. You have that guy. See, that's the thing, because I was wondering, at first, I was like, why is Mario Cristobal playing for a field goal? Because I mean, he had done that against Notre Dame, and I thought, oh man, that's gonna come back to bite you. Like, you better try to be aggressive in this moment. And then he was aggressive, and Carson Beck threw the pick, and I was like, oh, okay, that's why. That's why. Yep. Like, right, yeah. There's just, I can't. It's like Drew Aller. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. Maybe I should hand it off here. So I'm now, it makes a little bit more sense to me. But either way, it suggests a real problem. By the way, Texas Tech goes down, guns down. They lost first loss of the year. And my boys, UCLA, up over Maryland in the Joel Bowl out there.
In the Joel Bowl. What's the score? What's the score?
Joel Bowl. 7-3 UCLA. Over Maryland.
UCLA. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of interesting football being played right now.
Yeah.
Oregon, Rutgers. We continue this. We want to see the way Oregon bounces back. Indiana already won today.
But barely,
kind of a sluggish game for Indiana. Yeah.
Sluggish game for them. Probably a lot of stuff going on in Bloomington this week. To talk about Kurt Cignetti. Would he stay? Would he go? And then he's, of course, rewarded with untold money, guaranteed money. They paid him like he was a starting small forward.
Yeah, dog. 11 million
LeBron numbers.
Yeah, they paid him. But so 93 million. Okay, 93 million guarantee in the NBA. Who is that? Who would that be? Who would get 93 million in the NBA? You're a good, strong starter on a championship team. Like you're Drew Holiday.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, no, Van Vliet. That's like the guy you get. Like, they paid him
like 5-year, $100 million deal, right?
5-year, $100 million deal. All guaranteed. So they really believe in him. They kept him home. So it's probably I expected maybe a little bit of sluggishness from them. But the fact that they were able to win the game just says they got a good culture,
Yeah, they came off an emotional high, like to come back and win. The winning is the most important thing in that circumstance, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, and it's tough for Penn State fans right now. Matt Rule obviously was a name on the list. They get kind of embarrassed against Minnesota, so that was a tough loss for the Matt Rule agenda.
That boy came right out. Like, I mean, it's your week, Matt Rule. Kirk Cignetti, he's got the deal. Matt Rule, you're going to come home. You're the guy everybody seems to be leaning towards. And then your team puts up that performance on tape on national television, bro. I mean, they didn't have over 200 yards of offense until basically started playing in prevent defense. Then,
man. Garbage time, right?
Yeah, garbage time stuff. I was like, man, they look really bad. I don't know. I mean, again, I'm trying to remember who it was that said this. Maybe it was Nick Wright. He said something along the lines of, man, I just can't imagine giving all this up for Matt Rule, right? Like this, that this is the guy that you have targeted to replace James Franklin. And that's this sort of thing. I was like, that's the kind of loss that you all would be mad at James Franklin for having, like losing to Minnesota like that.
I agree with that. And I think that the Matt Rule era at Nebraska hasn't, been what a lot of people expected it to be, especially since, this year is normally the year that his teams take off. But there are other things that are going on with his cultural connection to Penn State, how he knows the program, how he knows the culture at Penn State, where people are saying
it's his alma mater. I'm pretty sure
it's his alma mater. So it's like it seems to be a good fit from multiple standpoints. If he were to go there, maybe he would be in a better situation than he is right now at Nebraska. I don't know what Penn State will do. I think it'll be interesting. I happen to think that the name that they go and get is probably going to surprise us. Because I do. I think No, they're not going to go with Deion. But I think that it's going to be a name that surprises us because it's going to be a glass half full hire at Penn State. They're going to go and get someone that they feel like can disrupt the college football culture and make them a little bit splashier so that they can compete at the highest levels. They need a guy. If they're going to be a team like Georgia, if they're going to be a team, like Alabama in years past, then they need a Saban or a Kirby Smart. They're going to try to go find that guy.
And it is fascinating because Manny Diaz was a name that was thrown out there. Obviously, Duke, they pretty much shot themselves in the foot today. I mean, they could have easily won that game against Georgia Tech. Instead, Georgia Tech is now 7-0, first time since 1966. I did want to ask about maybe a Brent Key. I know Georgia Tech's his alma mater as well, but that could be a name under the radar that gets thrown out there. Clark Lee at Vanderbilt, another name that could be thrown out there for that job. You know what I mean? So there's
go get the Vanderbilt coach, man.
Names.
If you win at Vanderbilt, it's a good predictor of success and how you might do at Penn State.
Yeah, and he's done it before. So, I mean, I feel like Urban Meyer was a name that I saw getting thrown out there. Obviously, Nick Saban was asked about it, his interest in Penn State. Those feel like shoot for the stars, no chance of happening, but I guess you got to make the phone call. It does feel like it's going to be closer to earth who ends up getting that job.
Well, you know, don't you think, why don't people, I mean, I know why people don't hire Art Browse, but I just kind of thought we were over that as a society. Like, we're just, it's kind of anything goes.
What the fuck are you on, Joe?
Well, I'm just saying, we're over that as a society. Like, there's no rules anymore.
Shit? Why don't they just go get Jerry Sandusky? Bring him back. What are you fuck? What the fuck? I mean, was he good?
I think Jerry Sandusky tried
thinking, bro. Like, it's like they're not gonna hire Art Browse. That's over, dog. They're not. Like,
I mean, I'm just like, well, I mean, what do you? Why?
McElroy said Fitzgerald, Pat Fitzgerald from Northwestern was the name that he threw out.
Tate, we got to stay on our brows for a second.
No,
I want the entire college football community to know.
I didn't say they should do it.
Right now, that Joel
I didn't say they should do it. I'm just
for Art Browse. I'm not giving the Penn State job. Okay,
I just said.
I want everyone. If you kids are young, Google Art Browse and then go down to the personal section. Don't go through the football.
Go down to the controversy. Go to controversy.
I mean, Kendall Browse is the offensive coordinator at my alma mater, you know?
Uh-huh.
And he was the one that was like, man, do you like hot white women? We need to come on down to Baylor. That is the guy that is calling the shots for Josh Hoover right now.
The Jerry Neuheisel. That used to be his recruiting pitch. He was
so it's like, again, what are we pretending? Why are we pretending as a society that we care about any of that stuff anymore?
I'm telling you right now,
it's fine.
Well, how about this? Look, I don't actually give a fuck. But I'm telling you right now, it's a wild situation to call for Art Browse to be given the Penn State job. Can you imagine? Can you imagine right now?
Actually, when you say it
Art
like
Browse
that,
hired Penn State.
when you say this is not funny, this is not funny, but it's
just. Can you imagine what the fucking press conference is going to be about?
Oh, you know what? Now that you say it like that,
just think about the press conference. The whole press conference.
I just made. You know what?
The whole press conference is going to be about the safety of the women on campus and happy. Like, it's like you can't. No, he got a ways to go, bro.
What if you had heard Art Browse had been on the Epstein files?
Oh my God! Here we go.
Would you hire him to be the coach?
Would you
hire him to be the coach?
Say these for the Skeets.
What if they were just like,
say that?
Penn State was going to hire somebody that was in the Epstein files, and they would be like, "Well, you can't be the coach." If you think you hung out with Jeffrey Epstein, man, we don't think you could be the head coach at Penn State. Well, damn, that's a low stakes ass job. Anyway, I got to read.
Talking about Penn State, James Franklin was on College Game Day. He was in Athens. I did want to read this quote to you guys. I want to get your reaction to it. So James Franklin was asked about national championships, chasing them at Penn State. He said, quote, "I thought we were going to win a national championship there. That goal hasn't changed. We're now going to win a national championship somewhere else," end quote. Joel, do you think that James Franklin will win a national championship somewhere else?
No. Because I don't think he's ever going to get a job again as good as Penn State. I think that if he had stayed at Penn State, that he would have won a national championship in the world that I'm envisioning, which is a generation ago, where you could, coach somewhere for 25 years if you mostly were a pretty good to great team every year. I think he could have done that. But yeah, I think that more than likely he's going to end up at some place like Maryland. He might be a Terp, right up the street
Virginia
from me.
Tech.
Yeah, Virginia
Wisconsin,
Tech, something like that. Yeah,
mhm.
like I think he's just going to go to a school that he'll be competitive and do
Maybe
really
South
well.
Carolina if Shane Beamer goes to Virginia Tech and
Oh
beats him
man,
there.
what is this is again? This is the Kurt Signetti, Clark Lee thing again. It's just like, what is wrong with you guys? Why can't you win in these jobs? You know, like you have no
Mhm.
excuses. Indiana and Vanderbilt, two of the worst schools and Power Four, the doormats of their respective conferences, are really good right now. Why can't you all do that? And so
He
yeah,
ain't taking none of them types of jobs. Let me tell you the type of jobs that Franklin is going to take.
okay.
He's going to take a job, a major job, at an opening from a beleaguered fan base. So a Florida type situation. Florida right now, it would take the Florida fans 4 years right now to realize that James Franklin had them as a very good program, but not an elite program.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you have the expectations that you do at a place like Florida, and you're going out and you're going, 5-5 or whatever, 6-4, like you can't really win in the way that you should. You're a 7-5 team, and it's Florida. The first thing that you want is for that to stop. You want
Mm-hmm.
somebody to restore you to the upper echelon of college football, get you there, and then solidify you as that. Then once you've gotten there, you can then start belly aching about whether or not that coach has what it takes to beat the Alabamas and the Georgias and the Ohio States and all of that, which is what happened with Penn State. But before you actually get super duper pissed off, you just want to be back. And James Franklin has demonstrated that he can get you back. The question is, can he get you over? The rest of the places that you guys are talking about that he might go, if he couldn't win a national championship at Penn State, then and he still wants to do that,
Right.
then why would he go to a place like that where it's going to be way harder than what it is to win a national championship at Penn State?
Because that's the
And
place
be in
that's
a
going to have him. By the way,
I doubt that. No. I
but
think that
Vance,
James Franklin. I don't. I think that James Franklin. I mean, if those hold on, if those places are in fact the only places that will hire him, then he might go to one of them. But I don't think that those places will be the only places that will be looking to hire James Franklin. I don't think that that's true.
in the chat, Van, by the way, people are pointing out that what you said about Florida could very easily apply to the school whose hoodie you're wearing currently.
But there's one difference though.
Oh, okay. What's up?
So the difference is for us is that the last three coaches that have come through have won national championships. And so there's a thought. So there's a thought at LSU that we're
Okay.
not as down right now as
Yeah.
what a Florida is.
Yeah.
Right. LSU had an undefeated greatest of all team type team 5-6 years ago. So we might not have gotten to the point yet. I don't think the fan base, I can tell you right now, the fan base of LSU would freak the fuck out if they hired James Franklin. They would.
I was going to say, I was going to ask you that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now, if LSU was 2-7 or 2-8, 2-10 or whatever, if it was 3-4
Wisconsin.
wins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you were in that situation, it's different. LSU still thinks right now. Remember, this team was ranked 10th on the field today. They still think right now that they're with the recruiting classes and with the amount of NIL money that they're hovering around the era, the reputation, the smoke of elite. And so they want somebody that can push them through, and they don't look at the program as something necessarily that has to be fixed as much as some of the other places would be. I'm not saying that they're right. I'm saying that's the feeling from a lot of the people that I talk to.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a very fair point. Yeah, and which is why I think that Franklin's going to have to go to the Terps, which makes sense. That's where he made his name. That was. I mean, he recruits very
Joel
well
wants it
down
so
here.
bad. Joel wants Maryland football to be back. We need
Yeah,
some
man.
Maryland gear.
Yeah, man. I have some affection for Maryland.
We need some
football.
Under Armour Maryland
I want
gear.
them to
Shout
do
out to
well.
everybody at Under
It is,
Armour.
but the only man that Under. Well, no, I'm not going to talk about it.
I wanted to do a start bench cut, and this is hypothetical because obviously two of the jobs are taken right now. But if we have Penn State, Florida, LSU all open, start bench cut, best job.
Wow.
Penn State, Florida, LSU all open.
They're all let's say hypothetically, like Billy Napier, he finally loses and they fire him.
I got
Brian
this.
Kelly, they
this.
raise the money to fire him, and then those 3 jobs are open. They have the full canvas to go find a head coach. Who? How do they rank it? Start, bench, cut.
I got it.
Go, Joel.
Start is LSU.
I agree.
I mean, again, every kid is Ben points out all the time. If you come from St. James, if you come from West Monroe, if you
the recruiting pool and the lineage of what they've been able to do in modern times.
They have their pick. They generally have the pick of everybody that they want in Louisiana, and they can go into East Texas, they can go into Florida, they can go,
Also the quote unquote coolest team in the SEC, right? I would say LSU is the coolest team in there.
Yeah, and the atmosphere, like, it's just dope. It's a good play. You should be able to win there. Bench for me is Florida, because partly what Van said, it's been a while. Right? Like, they've not been an elite program in over a decade now. Like, there are a lot of kids, they don't know shit about Tim Tebow, man. That's an old man to them. They've never seen him play football. They don't care about that anymore. And I also think that Florida's kind of overrated as a job. Like, I mean, I think Gainesville, if you go there, is a nice college town, but it's not the easiest. It's not the close. It's in part of Florida that's not near South Florida. Right. So you got to go into South Georgia. You got to get the kids out of North Florida and some into the Floribama stuff.
And you're going up against Kirby Smart head to head, right? I mean, that's really what's happening right now. That's the class of the SEC. So that makes it even harder. It's
a much tougher job. And again, everybody recruits in Florida. You got 2 other big schools there, plus USF and UCF. It's just tough. And cut is Penn State, bro. And I went into that the last episode. I don't want to insult that school again or that program again, but they know where they are, and it's not near the major hotbeds of talent in this country anymore. It's a tougher school to convince kids to go to, and they've not won a national championship since 1986. To me, that kind of says it right there. It's like that we're not even talking about a program that's operating at the level of Florida LSU.
But right now,
I think I agree with Joel.
The number one job, yeah.
I think I agree with Joel about that order. I still believe in the Florida job. That's why it's tough. I still believe in the Florida job. I've seen it done. I've seen coaches come down there, win with the resources that they have in Florida. I still believe in the Florida job. That's the only thing that's stopping me from having an emphatic agreement with Joel in his order. I think that's the only order. Mm-hmm. You can make an argument about LSU and Penn State as well. I think that's the only order. Look, I should say this. For as down as we are on LSU right now, and you guys,
as far as we down on LSU, right? You the one down.
Hold on for a second.
You the one down, not
Joel,
us.
you gotta be careful. He's got eggshells. He's got a strap.
Hey man, sit down, Van.
He's gonna sit down very soon.
What is that?
Joel, this is my dad's lasso.
I was wondering, is that a lasso?
All right. Joel, this is my dad's lasso. All right. Rest in
peace. You just have a lasso
father.
In your room? Wow.
Right. I have a lasso in my room. This is my father's lasso. People don't believe my family that I am the son of a hoodoo woman and a rodeo cowboy. My father was a rodeo cowboy. He cowboyed. He hunted. He fished. This is my dad's lasso. Joel, you come in to the ringer for Core Week. All right.
Mm-hmm. I leave.
You're gonna get hog tied. All right.
How do you hog tie?
I don't hog tie.
Hog tie.
I don't know how to hog tie. Well, guess what, Joel? I do know how to hog tie. Leave LSU alone.
I believe. No, man. You know what? That's fine. Put that thing up. I'm going to ask this question, and it's not to offend. Shout out your pops, man. Did he do rodeo stuff at Angola? Not that your pops was
a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, just and help it out. It's just like it's a rodeo culture down there. It's actually a beautiful thing that they have going on at one of the worst places in the entire world. But that's a podcast for a different podcast. That's a narrative podcast.
That's a narrative series.
We
can put that on Netflix.
Not only that, but you guys know about Angola prison football?
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah.
Did that inspire
camps in Angola have actual like tackle football teams? They have tackle football teams and they play. It's actually a really, really interesting thing. Anyway, when you're looking at those 3 jobs, you can make an argument that maybe Penn State's in a better place than LSU is. I don't think that they are, but you can make an argument. But for whatever reason, maybe it's the SEC bias in me. Just again, I still believe in the Florida job. Although overall, I think that your order is right, Joel.
I'm with you, Joel. I'm with you, Van.
All right.
I think that's a good call.
Let's
Let's just do like a little around the horn here of games that are happening right now. Texas A&M's up on Arkansas 38-27. That was kind of a close game for a little while. They made them sweat a little bit, so Bobby Petrino getting some love there. Wazoo up 17-7 on number 18 Virginia at halftime. So the ACC doing ACC things. Also, since Zevi Eckhouse came in and started, playing quarterback for Wazoo, they're like a different team. So
I mean, man, they almost
Ole Miss.
They scared, they scared the hell out of Ole Miss last week, man. So
yes, so I want to give them some love. Number 8 Oregon destroying Rutgers. Greg Schiano's team not looking great today, but Oregon bounce back game. Texas has been struggling to score. They just finally scored, so they're up 7-0 on Kentucky with about 6 minutes to go in that game. Alabama is up 7-0, still in the first quarter of that game. First quarter also USC 10-7 over Notre Dame. Mizzou losing to Auburn right now, so Hugh Freeze trying to get a bounce back win, up 7-0 in that game. And then the Holy War just started. So any last thoughts on the Holy War? I had a few Mormons that were in my mentions and also in my requests on Instagram, and they were not happy with some of our comments.
Wait, that's a real thing that happened? Mormons hit you up on Facebook?
Yeah, they were not happy. They like put the blame on me. I don't know what it is. They said I said horrible stuff and all.
I think I know why they put the blame on
Ham.
you.
What is it called?
Because what are we, two sons of Ham?
What are we? Sons of Ham? Yeah,
I seen that documentary. My grandmother showed it to me. We're two.
Yeah, they were putting all the blame on me.
Hey,
yeah.
Oh man,
don't think we don't know.
Control them. That's what they were saying.
Yeah, that's what they were telling you. That's what they were telling you. They were like, "Hey, those two sons of Ham, the tribe of Ham, or whatever they are, we can't control what they say. It's been handed down. But how could you do it?
Yeah, I didn't even know I said anything.
Nobody said anything to me.
Yeah,
you know why?
I didn't know this was going on.
Don't think that I could read the comments that they would type. All right. So no one said anything to me. No one said anything to Joel.
All right, well, that's I got a great rebuttal
now. Expect more from you.
Yeah. I got a good rebuttal now. I'm like, why'd you just reach out to me?
That's good. Let them know.
Perfect.
Shut them up.
Hey, why are you coming at me? I'm with my boys. Unless
we're just chopping it up
in the chat.
Ask them just like you added me.
Unless you was politicking with them.
There's no politicking.
Unless
I did a nice
nice
little mute. You know what I mean? Like I don't even do the block anymore because that makes them feel like they got something on me. But a mute, it's like I'll never see it again, right?
I do know that there are some guys. That's funny that Joel knows about the Sons of Ham thing. I do know because that used to do numbers in Baton Rouge. But I do know that there are some guys that would get that type of feedback from them, and they would be like, "Yeah, I do my best, but controlling that type of energy, it's not really what I'm used to." And Bill put me in this situation.
I'm used to it. I'm having a good time. We're having fun.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, can I read y'all a score that to me is actually crazy, but I saw it unfolding earlier in the day.
What?
UAB 31, Memphis 24.
I saw that. I saw that,
bruh. I mean, the week to Trent Dilfer, the week they do you want to talk about it, Tate?
No, I mean, Trent Dilfer gets fired from that job. He puts out a Bible verse after he gets fired. We never talked about Trent Dilfer. Funny story, Ringer related. Trent Dilfer was also almost my co-host once upon a time. I'm very happy to be sitting here with you guys.
All right.
Once upon a time with
Sons of Ham.
With much maligned GM of UNC football, my guy Michael Lombardi, when he left GM Street, there was a time where Bill Simmons, our boss, shout out to Bill. Bill's always trying to look out. He's like, "You're going to still do the football show. I'm going to get you another co-host. I'm going to make some phone calls." One of those phone calls, and the expectation was Trent Dilfer was going to be my co-host, right? So we were supposed to set up a time, talk to each other, do the whole, run around. He dodged me like 5 times, right? He never answered, did not want to talk to me. He's like, I hate this kid already. You know what I mean? And I didn't do anything. I didn't know him at all. And then we finally get on the phone. We had a terrible conversation. He did not want to do a show with me. And I think he basically was like, I back out, I disavow for lack of a better term. You know what I mean? So Trent Dilfer, not a fan, not a friend of the program.
It's funny because, I used to call Trent Dilfer when I worked at ESPN to get his opinion about quarterback stuff. Like I did a whole profile on Josh Rosen. And he famously had beef with Josh Rosen when Josh Rosen was at the Elite 11 camp, and that's when Trent Dilfer ran.
Me and Josh Rosen have something in common. I need to reach out to.
Yeah, you should hit him up, man. He's in business school. I think he's up at the Wharton.
Josh Rosen getting that money, getting to the money.
Yeah,
man, it's right, man.
Shout out to Penn, great business school.
Yeah, man, great school.
Look this up.
Yeah, but Trent, yeah, man. But it's just funny because he's one of the few people in the world that you can just know when he doesn't want to talk to you.
He did not want to talk to me.
If you call me and I don't feel like talking to you, I'll be like, well, look, man, I got something going on or whatever. I'm just gonna be, oh man, good to talk to you, brother. Look, man, I gotta take care of one of these babies. It's always a good excuse. Because it's usually true.
Because you're a daddy.
I'm a daddy, man. Tate was going to say something about, man, I had a rough night last night. I have not slept, so I'm a little loopy today. And Tate asked me before the show, he's like, hey, Joe, do you want me to bring this up or not? And I'm like, it kind of puts me in an awkward position because if I tell y'all that my son was in the ER all last night and I was with him through the night and then in the morning, it sounds like, I'm trying to gin up some sort of sympathy or whatever. But if I don't bring it up, it's just kind of like, whatever, but, we're all family here, right?
Yeah. And honestly, shout out to you for you were just like, it's up to you. And then I had to do like the mathematics in my own mind where I'm like, I don't know when to bring this up because Van really broke me when he came out with the spirits. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
then I was like, I don't know where we go with the show. But I'm glad that it all circled back and we can talk about it. So shout out to Joel. Joel's a trooper today.
Joel's a trooper. Shout out to Lil Joel. And I'm glad he's feeling good, bro. I'm glad I'm saying I'm glad he's doing okay, man.
No, this joke is funny. Yeah.
Shout out to the Anderson.
I used to be called Lil Joel. Okay. I used to be called Lil Joel.
So he's not Lil Joel. What's his?
My dad is Joel, not senior, Joel Wayne. I'm Joel Douglas, and my son is Desmond.
Your son is Desmond. Now I gotta say something about you and your father's names. Okay? Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta say something.
My
daddy did not like this.
Okay.
My daddy did not like this.
Yeah.
If there was one thing that bothered me, bothered my father about George W. Bush, it wasn't Hurricane Katrina or the wars or any of that stuff, financial crisis. My dad was mad that he didn't have the same name as his dad. He could not understand.
He's not the second.
This used to be so funny. My dad used to be sitting down watching the TV.
Walker, right? Yeah.
Herbert Walker. And Walker.
Right, yeah.
My dad used to be sitting down watching the TV and he'd be like, now, why didn't that man want to give his boy his whole name? What is going on with that? So he'd be like, son, what's your name? I'd be like, Van Lathan. No, it's Van Terry Lathan. Just like my name. Because you are me and I am you. Now, if I gave you a different middle name, you would feel like you were just a little bit different than me. And you wouldn't want to be what you are, which is a Lathan man. And the whole family would be like, yo, could we finish watching the news? Why are you crashing out? How does this, what does this have to do with anything?
Yeah.
Why are you crashing out? What's the rationale for the same name, different middle name? Did your dad ever tell you?
My dad did not want to, originally my name was going to be Jonathan. And I don't know what happened, why I didn't end up.
Ass nigga. That's what you look like. You look like you a dirty Johnny ass nigga. Hold on. That's what you look like.
Maybe when he turns on, you call him Johnny.
You got a whole Johnny aura. No, finish the story. My bad.
My mom may be watching this. I don't know. The understanding is that, and then my mom was like, for whatever reason, she's like, well, I'm going to name you. She told my dad, I'm going to name him Joel, and I felt like he was just like, I don't know. He just did for whatever reason. That's not exactly what we wanted. Douglas is my uncle's middle name. My uncle Douglas, who passed just this past summer. He's great. He's 83 years old. He's home with the Lord. That's where he believed he was going. So shout out to my uncle Doug. But yeah, so I'm Joel Douglas and he's Joel Wayne. So yeah, we didn't do the junior thing, but it is. People are always like, "Oh, you're a junior," and I'm like, "Nah, man." So that's why they called me Little Joel till I got to be bigger than my father.
There you go. Oh, there you go. That's always a good feeling too, when you get bigger than
SC,
your dad.
My dad is 5'6", man. It wasn't hard,
SC has just given up the touchdown. It is now
14-10.
14-10 Notre Dame. It's Jadarian Price. Jeremiah Love was off of the field because his helmet came off on the play prior. This would be This would be a sort of a big win for Notre Dame. It would be even a bigger win for SC, but this would be like a really big win for Notre Dame.
This is a playoff eliminator. Whoever loses that game probably ain't making the playoffs. I mean,
so they're a cross-off team. So USC, Notre Dame, loser is a cross-off team.
Yeah, loser go home. You know,
there you go.
Yeah, Notre Dame cannot lose this game. Yeah. I mean, there's still a chance that there's enough carnage and enough stuff that happens for a 9-3 team to get in, but it's not going to be a 9-3 independent.
Yeah,
it's not going to be.
Yeah, their schedule isn't.
Yeah, it's not going to be that because you're going to go through a situation if they lose this game where you could have a schedule where every single significant test that they had, they lost, and then how can you put that team in the playoff? Notre Dame needs to win this game, and they're at home.
And they're at home.
The Golden Domers, the Domers, if you want to call them that. Oh, daddy. The Domers, they will freak out.
Who does the daddy thing? Who does the daddy thing?
Hold on. Wait a second, though.
Who does the daddy thing? Whose thing is it? It's just he couldn't even help himself.
He
could not help himself,
bro.
In the moment.
Joe, what's wrong with you, bro? If you think somebody is a daddy, then they a daddy. That's cool.
Okay.
You looked at Xavier Thomas made that run.
Nah, see,
and then you asked me if he was a daddy.
Ty Simpson, yeah.
Ty Simpson, Big Daddy. Like you like him.
Okay, it's not like him. I didn't know. You making it more homoerotic than it really is. That's not what's happening.
This is a woke show, guys. I'm leaving straight here. I actually have this on because I'm leaving straight here and going to the No Kings protest while I fit right in. All right. This is I'll probably be like detained immediately. What are you doing?
Wait, are you really going to a No Kings protest?
I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna leave the house with the rope.
Okay.
And just see how long it takes. You're gonna be federal agent to come ask me what I got going on.
You're gonna be like that unfortunate brother. I don't know if y'all remember when that guy in Dallas killed like 5 cops. And then the first guy they arrested was a brother. He just happened to have his gun walking down.
Not funny, bro. The whole fucking thing is out. No, it's not funny. I'm not laughing.
What?
The whole fucking thing is out. Bro, what are you doing today? Art Browse?
Are you going?
Bringing up what is happening, bro?
Are you going?
Oh man, so good. Parting shots before we get out of here because we got good games that are coming up, right? We got to go watch this Alabama-Tennessee game that's happening. USC Notre Dame, also a great game that's happening right now. Joel, I'll go to you first. Parting shots. Any last thoughts here?
Man, I was thinking about this. Although just because you're an NFL team and you're picking high in the draft, don't mean you got to draft a quarterback next year. Okay. Just you don't have to talk yourself into Carson Beck or Lenore Sellers, who really, I mean, Lenore Sellers should not only go back to school next year, he should go somewhere where he can have a chance.
North Carolina. Yeah. That's the word on the street. That's our quarterback.
Okay. I mean, wait, is that in a world where Bill Belichick is still the head coach?
Yeah.
Oh man. Unfortunate.
Well, Wednesday, I want to call for a special segment. And it's a segment that's piggybacking off what Joel is talking about right now.
Okay.
About the quarterbacks coming into this year, Drew, DJ, Arch, Lenoris,
Klubnik.
This entire, we haven't even spoken his name. He didn't play college football Voldemort. We can't even say his name, right? This entire crop of quarterbacks. And the fact that this draft wasn't supposed to be a good one, it was supposed to be a transformative can't-miss draft with some of these guys. Look, who knows? Maybe some of these guys are in bad situations. You can imagine a world where Lenore Sellers comes out this year and still goes on to have a good NFL career, a la Josh Allen or somebody else with his skill set. Or you can also imagine a situation where he is the next Anthony Richardson. You just don't know. But the fact of the matter is, there has just been the quarterbacks that are running college football right now are Fernando Mendoza, Diego Pavia, Ty Simpson, Julian Sand, who had a fantastic
Marcel
game
Reed
today.
for an
Marcel Reed,
yeah,
Dante Moore. These are the guys that are running college football,
Mendoza.
And these are guys who we all had things we all knew that these guys could play, but they were not the guys that we told were going to be sitting in New York and hearing their names called in the draft. That just hasn't panned out.
No, man. No.
And that's why we hold experts accountable, damn it. You know what I mean?
Head.
That's what it's about. That's what it is. Just wanted to give one last little note there. This is Ringer Tailgate. We're having a lot of fun. Saturdays, we're live. Appreciate Van coming through. I mean, this is commitment to the bit right here. And it's not a bit. This is real life.
No, yeah. I mean, get mad at Tate.
He's trapped.
Get mad at Tate. Get mad at Tate, Van. They're gonna talk about you like they did Stephen A. They say, "Oh, you didn't bow up the Tate like you did Joe."
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What happened?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
The Stephen A. thing.
Yeah.
That's where you want to go for your politics. He got it all figured out. Go listen.
He got it figured out.
Go listen to him. He got it all figured out.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, that's the perfect
Ringer
thing.
Tailgate.
That's our final last note there. Appreciate everybody tuning in to Ringer Tailgate. McShay is going live later with Minch. Then we'll have some takes on the last games.
Well, we didn't talk to McShay about James Franklin, man. I have to find out what is his beef.
Yeah, what's happening with
James
James Franklin and Todd McShay? Also, Feinbaum and McShay. I kind of like McShay has these beefs. We need to get McShay on the show with us. Yeah,
McShay, talk your
Call
shit.
people out. Call people out.
Ringer gang, baby.
Yeah. About time. We need somebody talking shit. We love it. Appreciate everybody tuning in to Ringer Tailgate, and we will see you guys back in person live in Los Angeles on Wednesday. We'll see you then. 21 or older and present in select states for Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 and older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE in